Alright guys, what is going on? How y'all doing this fine Tuesday afternoon? Well, screens are a little cloudy up, there we go. This is the Club with the Man 1993, and we are live once again for my live review of Monday Night Raw from last night's edition from the February 27th. What the heck am I thinking here? April 27th, 2020. I kind of wish it was February. This is before everything started, but no, anyways. We were live for the April 27th edition of Monday Night Raw. Once again, took place at the WWE Performance Center. Sorry I didn't get to this last night, guys. After the show, I just wasn't feeling the energy. I mean, I ended up staying up for a couple more hours, but I just didn't have the energy to do a live review. So I thought I would wait until I needed it to do so. So once again, I just caught the highlights basically and whatnot. So the show I thought was okay. A couple interesting things happened on this show. It was a show that felt very centered around one particular person that apparently has been written out of the Money in the Bank ladder match, which interests me for sure. But I still think there was some seasoning to go with it. But some stuff was intriguing on the show, but it still was not that great of a show. As of course it's been. I'm sorry. Maybe this stuff would be better if there was a crowd reaction to it. Without that crowd, it still feels flat. I'm trying to give this a chance. I'm trying to enjoy this. It's just not really working for me. And people like Tyler who want to take a break from watching it, completely fine. It's what you guys want to do. I do what I want to do. I still like to come up here and talking about these shows, even though whether they're good or bad. So that's why I do it. So let's talk about this show. We opened up with MVP welcoming us to the VIP lounge. He brings out the representatives for the Money in the Bank ladder match from Raw, which are going to be Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews. He asks Black not to break anything, and then he also says he already knows why Rey Mysterio wants to be in Money in the Bank, because he wants to cement his legacy and add another thing to his resume. And Apollo Crews, he gives him as his pick to win the match, and also puts him over after his win. He beat MVP last week. Still wanted their teasing that stable though, with him, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. So possible because what we saw later on. Out though came Zelina Vega and her stable of Almas, Garza, and Theory. Says, I know he wants to hear what Cruz has to say, but the WWE Universe can't get enough of her three boys. Even though, once again, I'm just again, no offense, your three boys are talented, but your three boys have been doing nothing but losing lately. He says how none of them, they're all going to lose their spots. They're going to lose the briefcase to SmackDown, and they should just step aside and let her lads take over. Once again, would be nice, except they all been losing lately. But then Ray says, if you think you're just going to give us our Money in the Bank spots, but also, I don't think you just came out to act. You came out to pick a fight. So that sets up for, of course, a 6-man tag match. That definitely went on a little too long, I thought, but it was alright. And then Apollo Crews got the win for his team, with a delayed Blue Thunder driver, and he pinned the United States champion Andrade Cien Almas. And then throughout the night, we had some more Triple H's 25th anniversary countdowns. Much better, of course, than that terrible segment on Friday. I'm sorry, that segment with him, HBK, Vince, and all the people calling it was just terrible. We then see Zelina Vega and Almas bickering to each other backstage when an interviewer rolls up. Almas asks Vega what happened, and she let him down. His partners let him down, and none of his opponents could beat him in a title match, one-on-one. Apollo rolls up saying, "You're a bunch of sore losers, and I could beat Andrade again, and I'd be happy to show you how to do that tonight." But Almas just rolls back and shoves him, saying he'll fight him for the title whenever he wants. When Cruz asks, "How about now?" and he, BAM! Slaps him across the face. And then Vega's like, "Fine, you got your shot, and you're going to get it tonight." So, again, Apollo Crews, as I keep saying, obviously, again, I've heard rumors that they brought him over the Raw because Heyman's high on him, and it looks like that they are actually trying to do something with him. which I do like, because they should have done something with him a long time. I mean, he should be a world champion. Again, I keep saying, the character still needs to build up. I saw a little bit more of this. I kind of like this more serious Cruz, getting up in faces and whatnot like that. I kind of like that. But of course, the character still needs some work, which is why I'm not saying I'm happy about it, but I'm kind of glad with what happened later on. Even though I'm still hoping it's just a work. I'm pretty sure it's just a work, but we'll get to it later on. Anyways, then we're supposed to be getting a triple threat match with the three members of Raw for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Asuka came out first, cut a promo in mixed English and Japanese, talking about how she tapped out Nia Jax 2 years ago. Forgot about that. Yeah, Nia tapped out to Asuka like 3 weeks in a row. Yet at WrestleMania, she still had a Raw Women's opportunity because Alexa Bliss bullied her. And then Shayna comes out and attacks Asuka before the bell, while Nia just stares them down. And then Nia throws Shayna into the barricade, goes after Asuka. Asuka wakes her up and beats her down a little bit, and then Baszler takes her out again, folds up a ladder, laying sideways, and then Asuka avoided it and threw her into it and then into the ring, but gets beat down by Nia Jax, who throws the ladder into the ring, and she freight trains both of the women with the ladder just show off her power. Then we have backstage this interview with Bobby Lashley and Lana. Now, last week, they made it seem like that 2 weeks ago, Bobby Lashley's like, oh my gosh, I lost at WrestleMania. I lost one match. I need a new wife and new management and whatnot. Last week, we hyped up a show around Bobby Lashley flipping a tire. A tire! And him and Lana were, giggly, all happy, and all in love again. Now this time, it's just like, Lana's telling Lashley how great he is as always. My Bobby! My hot, hot Bobby! And then he interrupts and says, I don't want you out there distracting him with your unbelievable beauty. So now all of a sudden, Lashley doesn't want Lana out there again. This back and forth stuff's killing me! Then Lashley squashes Denzel Desjardins, who's been there in a lot of squash matches. And then also, we have Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott have another match. So Liv Morgan beat Ruby Riott last week. And I was surprised by that. I'm like, okay, it's time for a rematch. We'll see what happens. And Liv won again. Which, okay, it makes Liv look good. And I'm actually really liking the direction they're going with Liv. But it still scratches my head because what about Ruby? Ruby has done nothing but lose since coming back. And I mean, no offense to Liv. I do think she's getting better. But Ruby Riott was definitely already like a much bigger star than Liv. Why is she just eating up loss after loss after loss after loss and just getting nothing out of it? Kind of a head scratch, because she should be someone in the title picture. She's also someone I think should be in the Money in the Bank ladder match instead of Nia Jax. Just my opinion. But Liv was interviewed after the match saying right now she feels like a lot of people her age trying to figure out who she is, but she's confident she's going to. Simple story. Liv's about a year younger than me. I'm still figuring things out as well, Liv. And also about this match too, Liv actually kicked out of the Riot Kick. Maybe if I had like Charlotte or Becky or Shayna to do so, but I didn't expect Liv to do that. So they're working something up with Liv. We'll see. And she's quite attractive as well, I must say. Oh man, speaking of interviews, Nia Jax interviewed afterwards backstage, saying how many times how nobody can do anything about my actions. Not Asuka can't do anything about my actions. Nobody can do anything about my actions. Shane can do anything about my actions. Nobody! She literally just squealed in Charlie Caruso's ear. Nobody! Because her scream is supposed to be intimidating. It sounds atrocious. Moving on from Nia Jax. We didn't have a promo from the Viking Raiders about who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it, and that means that they're going to take the titles from the Street Profits, because they want the smoke. So next week we're apparently getting a Raw tag title match with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. Alright, whatever. And then, guess who's back? The modern day Maharaja Shanti. Jinder Mahal. He came back and he squashed Akira Tozawa, mentioning also about how he's a former WWE champion. Does anyone else besides me have a bad feeling we're going to get a feud with Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal for the WWE title after Seth Rollins? Jinder Mahal has not really even been in a feud that they try to make him relevant since he feuded with Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank 2 years ago, which was obviously just a desperate attempt by WWE to not get Roman booed out of the building. That match at Money in the Bank was booed like crap, and I, for me, am still surprised to this day. Like, I am thinking Vince McMahon mind right now. I am so surprised Vince McMahon did not make Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal the main event of that pay-per-view. I was expecting him to try to do that. I'm sorry, I was. You know, I mean, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns, even though the match sucked at Backlash, was a caliber match to be made a main event, if booked right. But over a title feud, I'm like, okay, if they're still not putting the WWE Championship in the main event scene, even of course it was Money in the Bank, or if they were going to put the men's Money in the Bank ladder match in the main event, either, I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me if they put Roman and Jinder, but don't be surprised if, like, whatever June's pay-per-view is, or even, like, for Extreme Rules, please don't do it for SummerSlam. It's not going to surprise me, though, if they do Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, because, 3MB, they have history. It's still Jinder Mahal! I'm sorry, I hate to diss on the guy, but I don't think he's good. I don't want to sit through, okay, I'd rather sit him just being the number one contender again than him being champion for 6 freaking months. Jinder my balls, or whatever the heck we were all calling him back when that happened. Anyways, let's check the live chat. Yeah, the worst champion is back. Apollo Crews, the same guy whose job the Sheamus on SmackDown is getting a push on, and why? Again, that's what I said before. Obviously, they still have to season out his character for sure, not to act like they just push him, which is why I'm kind of glad they did what they did, which I'll get to that. Drew was a Terminator against Seth. We'll get to that segment. That was a good segment. So, and then we had some interviews with, again, Vega's losing crew. And then we have Andrade Cien Almas take on Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. You know, decent match. Again, Apollo's still working his way back up. But, during the match, Apollo Crews tweaked his knee. Andrade took advantage of that and attacked the knee. And eventually Apollo could not continue. And they stopped the match. Now that is match stoppage. An alright time to have match stoppage. Not Hell in a Cell, but that's far gone. Anyways, so they did this, and I'm hoping it's just a work. But they did this probably just to protect Apollo Crews and take him out of the ladder match. Because I heard rumors he is apparently pulled from the ladder match because of this hopefully kayfabe knee injury. Which I'm fine with. Again, Apollo got into the match. It got him something. But of course, it's not trying to, just rush him up higher ranks. And it kind of gives a chance. Because, like, right now, I'm not feeling like Rey Mysterio winning the Money in the Bank. I mean, if he does, cool. But what's he going to do with it? Aleister Black, I still don't think he needs a Money in the Bank briefcase. Same with Bryan. King Corbin, no. And I'm sorry. I mean, as much as I love them, either Otis or Dolph don't need it either. So I don't know who they would throw in, but I'm kind of hoping that, whoever replaces Apollo Crews is the one to, win the Money in the Bank. But, again, I like that. They're taking their time building him back up again. I just think, with like another bigger name in the match, someone who I think is more of a legitimate contender, like someone who actually could benefit from Money in the Bank, maybe Buddy Murphy. I still think he should have been in this match. Maybe, but we'll see. So I'm cool with them doing what they did. Again, as long as this was a work. I'm hoping it was not for real, and we're not going to see Apollo for quite a while, especially with the push they're about to give him again. I've definitely been wanting to see Apollo Crews get a push since he came to the main roster and get the proper booking. I still think he should have stayed down at NXT a little longer and been an NXT champion also, but, can't change anything. Let me see here. The Street Profits cut a promo mocking the Viking Raiders for being crazy, but admitting that they're right, that they've only ever won the tag titles when the Vikings weren't there. Which, of course, they were the War Raiders. So next week, if they want the smoke, they got it, which has a match. We then have Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, Squash, Ever Rises, Chase Parker, and Matt Martel. After the match, MVP appears on a Titantron congratulating them. He brings out, though, Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne, saying their win last week was a fluke, so he wants to make a rematch that'll be box office platinum. Straight up ballin'. So obviously they're still teasing this stable with Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. The thing though is, why is he bringing in like a random team like Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink to be the ones to really push them over the edge? Why not bring in someone like a little more credible? Like, why Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink? I don't get why. We see Apollo Crews coming out of the trainer's room limping on crutches, and again, he gets the biggest opportunity taken away from him, pretty much. Then we have the ending segment. It's a contract signing with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank, which once again, still, Seth Rollins lost at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens is nowhere to be found, yet Rollins is getting a title opportunity without even earning it. How does that make sense? Not at all. Also note this, Jerry the King Lawler was also the master of ceremonies for this contract signing. And also, he was not on commentary tonight, as Samoa Joe was. Joe is excellent on commentary. When his in-ring career is officially over, I want to see Joe actually stay on commentary. He is awesome. Already! As, he could say, I don't know. But still, I still love that. Okay, that would be me the day I drive through a Wendy's drive-thru and they no longer have the barbecue cheeseburger. Oh, Wendy! Anyways. So, he explains the concept of Money in the Bank, Lawler, before getting to the actual title match, and welcoming Rollins and Drew McIntyre. McIntyre tells Lawler that this is going to go the way these things always do, and suggests Lawler to not stick around, which Jerry gets out. McIntyre signs, passes it to Seth, telling him to hurry up. Seth then says he doesn't want to do this, but I have to. Yes, he stated it before. He needs to get the title to where it needs to be. It's not about him or about Drew. It's bigger than all of us. McIntyre is going to be a great champion. Someday. He's a fighter. A warrior. Honorable man, but he's no leader. Rollins, though, still continues to believe he's a leader. Everywhere he's gone in his career, he's led and people have followed. And now more than ever, this industry needs someone to guide them. He suffered for that title, and he doesn't want Drew to suffer anymore. The title is his burden to carry, and in time, Drew can come find him and show him that he's ready. McIntyre's like, well, thank you. That was really passionate and enlightening, and things are clear now. You're just full of shit! Where exactly are your followers? Points out that it never seems to be Rollins' fault, but he'll cut to the chase. He will not let Rollins win the title under any circumstances. Rollins needs to stop talking forever because nobody wants to hear it. Somehow, he gets his foot stuck in his mouth and his head stuck up his ass every time he opens his mouth. Which obviously was clear shots at Seth Rollins, just running his mouth on Twitter like he did. Again, that's what killed him. That's what killed Seth Rollins as a babyface, I still say, was his Twitter. Yes, he had bad booking, but if he would have just kept his mouth shut and not crapped on fans or other people and just became so full of his ego, he would not have really been done this. But the fact, of course, that they've literally gone with it and turned Seth heel, basically being him having be exactly who it is on social media, it's just gold to me. I mean, yes, they dragged on a feud with him and Kevin Owens, and yes, he should have been beating He should have actually won the match with Kevin Owens to be, getting this title opportunity, but in fact he hasn't done anything to earn this title opportunity since WrestleMania. It still pisses me off. But just this pro just was awesome. And then McIntyre says, number 2 weeks ago you didn't finish the job, but you should finish the job at Money in the Bank, or Drew will finish him. They stand up, and Rollins is like, look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture will come clear at Money in the Bank, and we'll be better off for it. He signs, and then McIntyre takes Rollins' head and just goes, BAM! Slams it face forward into the table. He cleared the ring, big headbutt, and he's getting ready to set up for the Claymore kick. But in came Buddy Murphy, who obviously is showing, hey, even though, of course, the whole Disciples thing has kind of faded off since Razor is injured, Murphy comes in and shows his support to Seth Rollins. And then Seth, though, of course, didn't realize Buddy was in there. When Buddy went to pick him up, Seth swats him away. But then Rollins stares him down, and they embrace. But then Rollins steps out of the way because right behind him came Drew McIntyre, and he Claymored Murphy. And he says it's fine with him if Murphy is sacrificial lamb, as Seth then beats a retreat up the entry. So a nice segment to end the show. Again, the match with Rollins and McIntyre should still be good. But once again, how did Seth earn this title opportunity? Not at all. He lost at WrestleMania and just stomped McIntyre in the head a few times. To me, that's more like, okay, set up a non-title match on Raw. Nope. It's a main event caliber pay-per-view match for Money in the Bank. Hey, this was this. I'd much rather have this than Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal, and I'm still seeing it coming, guys. I'm sorry. It's coming. Anyways, let me see here. Live chat before we go off the air. Tyler says he would rather have Drew feuding with Joe or AJ. Definitely yes, especially AJ. I want to see a match that's like a SummerSlam caliber match. Like if Drew's not feuding with Aleister Black by SummerSlam, hopefully AJ's back and back on the right path. I would like to see that match at SummerSlam. McIntyre and Joe, sure, I'd be up for that one as well. Zero Logic, Seth got a title shot. Seth should have won the match at Mania and then have a match with Drew at Money in the Bank. True, but I also think Kevin Owens needed that win more at WrestleMania, so somebody else should have been feuding with Drew for this pay-per-view. The question was who? It was like AJ lost to Jericho at Mania, but he got a title shot with Roman Reigns at Payback. True, but he at least earned it afterwards. That's the thing. I mean, yes, why was he even in the Fatal 4-Way match? I mean, yes, it was kind of two feuds coming together. Well, it got substituted out because Sammy got beat down and Cesaro returned. I'd rather do that than at least have him win a title opportunity than just get handed it to him, though, to be honest. But it is what it is. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this review of Raw. I'll give it a C-. The stuff with Cruz interested me. I did like the contract signing. I do like what they're building up with Ricochet and Cedric Alexander still, but so nothing too special. C-. What are your thoughts on Raw for this week? Your thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. With that, guys, I am checking out. I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.
No